What's up guys, I'm ExxotikGaming and today I am back with another Pixel Gun 3D video, and today's video is a special tutorial pertaining to the most recent update, the big 10.5.0 update that added in leagues to Pixel Gun 3D. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys the 3 best methods to ranking up fast in Pixel Gun 3D leagues that were added into this most recent update. There is one method that is going to guarantee you some fast ranking ups in the leagues. There is another method which is a lot faster than the first one, but it isn't always guaranteed. And then there is a third one which is a lot more likely to be guaranteed, but it isn't 100% always going to work. So we're going to start off with the first method, the guaranteed method. What you are going to want to do is go create your own co-op survival match. And what you want to do is not create it on just any map, but you want to create it on Deadly Arena. So we're going to go create that one right now. Don't set any sort of name, because I have found that people do join more often if there is a name set. So if you do something like don't join for the name, somebody else is probably going to join, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult just because you have to compete against somebody else trying to get the top final points for ranking up in this co-op survival match. Now, unfortunately, it is a little bit of a decent amount of time before you actually finish up this match, and I have found it does give varied amounts of points in the leagues, so you definitely want to get as many points as possible in co-op survival, taking out as many enemies as possible, and that way you can get the most amount of points possible. I've gotten up to 22 rank points at the end of this, and that is in about 4 minutes of gameplay, so every 15 minutes or so, you can get about 100 league points, and that's almost enough to rank you up within the first couple of leagues in 15 minutes or so. So that's not bad by any means, definitely does it pretty well, and I am really enjoying this method so far. It's actually a great method because this method does give more use to co-op survival now. After my most recent method of getting fast coins, which you guys can see down below in the description, it's kind of let the co-op survival go by the wayside. A lot of people haven't been using it too much before, and now that we have another method that can guarantee you a pretty decent reward in Pixel Gun 3D, I can see a lot more people using this in the near future for Pixel Gun 3D, ranking up fast in the leagues. Now, you do want to use specific weapons for this just so you can get the most out of the weapons. Obviously, you don't want to use an extremely underpowered weapon or a weapon which runs out of ammo pretty fast, so you're probably not going to want to use something like, maybe, if I go look at a secondary weapon here, maybe something like the Flower Power or the Old Comrade, which has a very low capacity and a weapon which you will run out of ammo pretty fast. If you use something like the Alien Rifle, you can get some pretty decent gameplay pretty well with that one. It's a weapon which has the ricocheting ability, and that way you can kill the most amount of enemies at max possibility. It's also a great weapon for some of the lower level players in Pixel Gun 3D, where it's honestly one of the best ones, I do think, for lower level players, so that's really good. Also, area damage weapons are always a great weapon for this, and another thing I do want to note is as the minutes start going down, it does get a little bit difficult, and more difficult, more enemies start spawning, and it does get a lot more difficult, and you might end up potentially dying. If you ever get to a point where you are very low on health and you fear that you might possibly die, all you have to do is use any sort of area damage weapon, blast yourself back up here, and then you will be able to take people out without worrying about them killing you. So that's another great thing. Of course, you do have to worry about the ones that are shooting at you, so always make sure there's not something right next to you that is actually shooting at you, and that way you can be able to take them out without having to worry about them. I do think something like the rocket crossbow with a decent capacity is one of the better weapons for this. You definitely want to have a weapon with a decent capacity, and the best thing about co-op survival is the fact that if you do run out of ammo with one weapon in the shop, you can easily take out another weapon and finish off the job against any other player or enemy that you are coming across with. Now, having this own private match will allow you to have the ability to not have to worry about other players joining in, and you don't really have to worry about the fact that somebody else might join and take more points than you. So it's a great feature having the own special private ability in the server, and I'm going to use my signal pistol just for this so I don't actually lose any more health. Definitely, if you do want to blast yourself up to a specific area, use a weapon which won't take away too much health. if you do use something like your little rocket crossbow, or maybe your big buddy or something like that, you will find that you will end up losing a lot of health with something like that, so it does get pretty difficult at times. And as you guys can see, I'm losing health pretty quickly now, so I'm going to blast myself back up in the last couple of seconds and then get maybe 1 or 2 more kills when using this weapon. So yeah, I'm going to finish this matchup here, and I'll show you guys how many points you can get. I got plus 22 points in this league match. Now, that's pretty good, but the thing is, it does take a pretty decent amount of time. Now, it's not that bad. I mean, you can get around 115 minutes, like I said, which is by no means bad, but it does get pretty boring pretty quickly. So another option that you can do that can't guarantee you a win, but it can potentially guarantee you a win. I just completely screwed up the word pronouncing guarantee, but it can potentially guarantee you a win a lot faster than the other methods is Deadly Games. Just a good old Deadly Games server. The only problem is you do have the risk of people knifing you at the beginning of the match, and if you do see somebody doing that, that's probably very likely going to happen. Of course, I'm not entirely sure what the heck is going on right here. Not entirely sure why this match is going as it is. But, okay, I'm going to leave this match and rejoin into another Deadly Games match, and I'll show you guys some more accurate to what a standard Deadly Games match would be. You definitely want to try to find some of the more powerful weapons, and if you guys want some more tips for Deadly Games, then you guys can go check out my How to Get Fast Coins video. I've already mentioned it like a couple of times. It's down below in the description. And I actually talked about in that video the best methods for getting the best gameplay in Deadly Games that will maximize the time that you are alive and allow you to win the matches a lot more often than you would without learning about those specific tips. So right after this is done, go break open this thing. Of course, I get the alien gun, so I'm probably not going to be able to take the people out, but I got myself the little Uzi right here. Take the people out as quickly as possible, and hopefully I'll be able to win. We'll see how many people I can actually successfully take out. And even if you don't win, as long as you get a decent amount of players and you are one of the last people standing, you still will rank up in league, so that's always a great thing about this. You don't have to be first place to be able to win and rank up, so it's good. I mean, the alien gun is certainly not the most powerful weapon for this. You do want to have some of the other more powerful ones, but I killed that guy right here, and hopefully I'll... Okay, so he had the Uzi himself, and you definitely want to take the people out as quickly as possible, because as you guys can see right now, I have to try to go around and try to find the person before, obviously, the time goes down too fast. Because if the time goes down too fast, it's obviously going to... Okay, so the guy sees me right here. I don't know if he even knows that I'm right here, but see if I can go take him out with a nice couple of headshots, and there we go. So that was a decent amount of time. So that was 1 minute, and I got plus 25 in that Deadly Games match. So you do run that risk of potentially dying in that and then losing some points, but you do have the potential to getting a lot more frequently. So if you can do it at the ideal best amount of kills and stuff like that, you can get around 100 rank points in around, I'd say, 2 to 4 minutes. So that's pretty good as opposed to co-op survival where it's around 15 minutes and something like that. But like I said, if you are a pretty inexperienced player in Pixel Gun 3D, you do run that risk just because the other players might be a lot better than you, and they might be able to take you out a lot better than you would be able to do so. And then the last way is in Silent School, or another close-range map with some of the really powerful weapons in Pixel Gun 3D. I would recommend something like the Solar Power Cannon or something like that, so I'm going to equip that right now. I would recommend probably this weapon or the Big Buddy, probably actually going to equip the Big Buddy. I would recommend the Prototype. I would recommend the Laser Bouncer. All of the most powerful weapons out there that you can easily take people out and win matches with. You want to take those weapons out, and that way you can easily win the match and get some pretty decent rank points in the process of doing so. So, taking out the Big Buddy here, guys. I mean, obviously, if you don't have the Big Buddy, you can take out the Solar Power Cannon, and you can have pretty much almost as good of gameplay as you would with the Big Buddy. I mean, as you guys can see, this is a one-shot kill weapon, so it's pretty much your ideal weapon for this. But if you do not have it, obviously, you can do without it and use some of the other ones like the Laser Bouncer and stuff like that, and it still works very, very well. Using the prototype is always good as well, the laser bouncer, stuff like that. Always get those one-shot kill weapons where you can easily do that. The trapper is another good one. Definitely would recommend the trapper, and just try to get as many kills as you possibly can in the length of the match that is required. I'm not entirely sure I'm going to successfully do it in this match, just because unfortunately I did join this match late, so you do run that risk as well. If you join a match where you join it within like 1 minute left, you might potentially not win just because the other people who have been there the entire length of the match do have the advantage, obviously. But if you can manage to get enough kills quickly enough, then you will find that you will be able to win and get a lot of really good kills very, very quickly. Something like the Dark Force Saber would work perfectly well for a melee type weapon, although I wouldn't recommend a melee weapon just because you have a pretty high chance of dying while using a melee weapon. You don't want to die too many times, because if you die too many times, then your points will go down, and even if you get the most amount of kills in that server, the people who don't, who may have not died too many times, will have that advantage. So we're just going to use our big buddy because we know this is a one-shot kill, and probably one of the best weapons for this. If we look at the actual list of scores and players like that, we're not going to win, so I'm going to do another match here right after this one, and hopefully with that one, I will win and show you guys how many points you can get if you win in a match like Silent School. The great thing about this one and with the Deadly Games match is the fact that in these matches, you can actually get a lot better at the game, and you can actually potentially prove to get yourself a lot better rank points in the future if you do use these weapons and these methods consistently. Now, if you go into something like Deadly Games in this and you don't die the first couple of times, do not fret, because you will eventually get better at the game, and you will get these wins a lot more frequently in that. I mean, as you guys can see there, I actually was able to get 2 rank points, even though I did join that one late, so these weapons are definitely some of the better ones for this. I would honestly say the prototype is one of the best ones for this, just because it's one of those easy one-shot kills, although the laser bouncer does work very well as well. I'll go equip the laser bouncer and show you guys how this one works. You can win with the laser bouncer, you can win with some of the other ones, and they just work really, really well. I mean, something like this with the ricocheting ability, you can kill people in ways you would have never even thought were possible, and get a lot of kills very, very quickly in this match. So we are going to get as many people as we possibly can and hopefully win in this server, and show you guys how many points you can potentially get in a close range map like Silent School, like I am in right here. I do believe it also depends on how many players are in the match. I'm not entirely sure on that, but if you have more players in the match, I think you get more league points. Don't hold me true to that, but that might be the case. So you want to go try to find a server where there are a lot of players, and that way you can get a lot of kills very, very quickly, and even if you're using a weapon like this, it's definitely going to work out like that in your favor. So yeah, currently right now I have 5 kills. I don't know exactly who the heck has 9 kills, but even if I get second place, I'll show you guys how many points you can get. I believe it's 25 as well with this, but not entirely sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is 25, because I believe in my last weapon reviews I have won in those, and I have gotten, I believe, 25 league points. So that's not bad by any means. You can definitely rank up pretty quickly, and the best thing is it's just a normal server, and I mean, honestly, it's just like playing with any other person in any other random server. You're just using really powerful weapons and potentially winning in the process of doing so. I mean, honestly, this is probably the least likely way of this happening. So if you are looking for a method which is probably the biggest risk, biggest reward type of thing, I would probably go with the Deadly Games way, although this one works perfectly fine. And it's a lot more fun, I have found, than playing Deadly Games a long time, and it's a heck of a lot more fun than co-op survival. If you play in co-op survival, it gets very boring very quickly, but like I said, there's a trade-off. With co-op survival, you can always guarantee to get those wins every single time. You don't have to worry about another player being in that match, so that's always good with that. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I don't really have much else I need to say about this little tutorial here. I really hope this was useful for you. The top 3 ways of getting fast league points in Pixel Gun 3D. Definitely go with the Deadly Games way. If there's any way, I would recommend the Deadly Games way out of the 3. If you are a beginning player in Pixel Gun 3D, I would still honestly recommend probably going into Deadly Games, just because it will increase your gameplay and skill in the game greatly. And if you are a beginning player in Pixel Gun 3D and you don't win your first couple of matches, don't fret. If you're a level 5 player, you're probably not going to get up into the Adamant League just because you're a lower level player, you know, you're getting used to the controls in this game, and you know, you're kind of more experimenting. I would honestly recommend trying to go for the leagues in this game only after you reach around level 15 or so, when you are sure to know how to use the controls in the game to its absolute best, and yeah, that way you can make the most out of these weapons in this game. So honestly, that's pretty much it, guys. I really hope you guys did enjoy this, like I've said a billion times. I really hope this was useful for you all, and make sure to comment down below any tutorial that you guys have for me to do or want me to do in the near future. I'm open to all suggestions. Anything that you guys want me to do, I will do. I got plus 14 points right there, and I believe that was with second place. So yeah, with second place you get plus 14. So the good thing with this is, and with Deadly Games is, you don't necessarily have to get first place to still rank up in leagues. So that's pretty much it, guys. I really hope this was helpful for you. And if you guys want to figure out a way to get coins quick in Pixel Gun 3D, make sure to check down below in the description, like I said. And that's pretty much it. Make sure to go check out some of my other glitch tutorials and special tutorials I have posted in the past. And make sure to check out my weapon reviews if you are new to my channel that I have done on all of the weapons introduced into the 10.5.0 updates. I did a review on the rocket crossbow right here. I did a review on the Mr. Squiddo, the acid cannon, the zombie head right here, and the zombie slayer. So you guys can check all of those out, and that is pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode.